Hello, everyone.
Oh,
Some conversations wander, others follow a map you didn't even know was there. Today, I have finally invited my friend Bobby from Wild Raven Tarot for a casual. This is where we have an opportunity to take to see where it takes us. We're going to find out his story, his practice, the moments that shaped him, and we'll look at his leaps and bounds, the beginnings and the breakthroughs, without ever quite knowing what will happen next. So settle in, make sure that you have got a beverage of your choice. Hit that like and subscribe to make sure that you're showing your support. All of the contact information for both of our channels are listed below. We're simulcasting this
yeah,
because
we are.
that's the way we are.
We
And
roll.
so I'm TarotStache, by the way. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. This is, as always, for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance. Really. So, Bobby, thank you.
I started putting that into my descriptions because of you. We are not professionals. I was like, that's probably a pretty good idea. I should put that. So yeah, I make it a point to get that across now.
Well, it is one of those things. There's a bit of legality. They're
Yeah,
serious readings. However, you make your own informed decisions, kids.
true dat.
So,
Hi,
um,
Gerald.
hello. We have some people here with us, and I've got about 90 minutes of time to dig into this man,
Yeah,
and y'all are
baby.
going to watch. So, Selena is here, Maru, Julianne, Joanne Miranda, Linda de Gonzalez, Anita Kay, and River Mist Faye. So, Intuitive Insights. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's great to see everybody. Yeah, have to do disclaimers, as you know, you're not a doctor. You're not a doctor at all. So,
Right.
um, but so okay, so a year ago when you started a series, it was called Behind the Cards, I think, and
Yes.
I was your first guest. You have
Yes.
some of those in a playlist on your channel, so go watch that. And it was so much fun. He invited me back because in his mind, I don't think you feel like you did it right the first time.
I didn't know what the hell I was doing on my very first show. I
I couldn't
knew
tell. It was fun.
nothing. I was panicked. I don't know if you can go back and watch the look in my eye, but I respected Gerald so much
Aw,
because I had
you're
seen
sweet.
him online, and I knew that it was a moment where I was either going to sink or swim. So um, you were very gentle with me.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you have been a very good student. So, and for those of you who are not, who don't, here's the funny thing. This, Bobby is talking about, he's recently gotten some hats, right?
I love hats.
He
Yes.
loves hats. He sent me this photo, and so I thought I'm expecting that Bobby would expect me to put a mustache on it. Correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me
Well,
you
I
didn't.
didn't. I didn't. And here's the thing. Um, I did this because Selena asked for me to make you into a
Oh
Muppet.
my goodness. I'm a
So,
Muppet. Please send me
so
that.
there you are, Selena, and just a bit of laughter. So,
That's
um,
awesome. It's got my same size nose.
there you go. Well, and here's the thing. Yeah, Selena is like, I did, ha 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 ha. Ha." And
Brat.
I'm like going, you know what? There's something sweet about that, but I think this is sweeter. I think that is a whole lot sweeter.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Oh,
I
look,
mean,
much better.
yeah, and by the way, for those of you you can't see backstage, I've got Bobby laughing. And so, I didn't want him to feel jaded or anything like this. So I did this. We
Oh
just
my
put it right on
goodness.
his regular face.
You're a mess, man. You're a
So,
mess.
but I am, yes, I am. If this is what a mess is, then I'm happy to do it. But come on, that's pretty funny.
I like that one. That's my favorite one.
And yeah, and Selena is still laughing. So, and for those of you who may live under a rock and have not subscribed to Bobby's channel, please do so. He does regular shows, and
Yes.
he does a show Behind the Moon on Thursdays with Selena. So that's
Mm-hmm.
exciting.
This
So
week we're going to be talking about pop culture, magic and pop culture.
yes, yes, I like that. I like that. Um, do you have any other guests that are coming to the Behind the Cards?
I've got several guests lined up on Behind the Cards. I've got Viviani coming on. Um,
Yes.
and I've actually got a couple other shows. One is called Behind the Moon with Selena that I
Hmm.
do on Thursdays. And then Epithets, where I
Oh,
break
yes.
into aspects of the divine. So different names for the gods and their attributes. We've done Kali, Santa Muerte,
Hmm.
Hecate, Hermes, and we've got Hunter coming back on, and he's going to talk about Lord Vishnu. So
Yes, that's good.
we've
Yeah.
got a lot going on there, and of course, my favorite thing to do is the 420 episodes,
Hmm.
where
Yes.
I put
Yes.
myself, and it's usually with Joey. She is my standard
Hmm.
co-host on that.
Sure.
And we don't promote the use of cannabis, but since we do use cannabis, we put ourselves in a liminal space, have fun, and
Hmm.
give messages.
Yeah.
So there is that.
I'm putting this up there just to make sure that you see it, Bobby, in case Selena says,
Hmm.
let's invite Gerald. Let's invite
No,
Gerald.
we've talked about
I,
having you
I
back
don't
on.
want to be pushy or anything like that. So, but so it's a lot of fun. The shows that you do. I also do a lot of various shows, and I think what's a really cool thing is today we're going to flip the cards because we're going to be doing a behind the cards, the TarotStache version.
Okay.
Bobby is
Woohoo!
not expecting this.
Mhm.
However, I was in a chat one time when he was doing a behind the cards with somebody, and it was like, wouldn't it be funny if somebody had Bobby on and we asked him his own questions?
Yeah, you were talking about this about my channelversary. Ah,
So, welcome. There you go.
okay. Buckle up,
So,
Buttercup. Let's do this.
yes, and so let's remind everybody, behind the cards is a way to use the Fool's Journey, the major arcana, as a way to get to know our guests. Here you go. Mexican gasp. He's got himself muted while he's blown his nose. So
Yeah.
yes, he should have good answers too. Well, there you go. There you go. So are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Let her rip, Big Daddy.
Okay. Well, and so because we're going to do this, here's the first question. And so for those of you who don't know tarot very well, the major arcana are the big archetypes. They are also it's oftentimes considered the fool's journey. It starts with the 0 and it goes to 21. So there's 22 cards in the major arcana. So anyhow, some people say it starts with the the world and ends with the
Yeah.
Fool. So there's all sorts of ways to do that. So we're going to be looking for that. And so here we're going to do this, and I'm going to start this, and I'm going to show, because Bobby likes to show the RWS. I'm actually going to show two different decks. One, I'm going to use the RWS, and then I'm going to use the Chris Butler.
That was a gasp you heard. I was
Yes,
like,
yes. The Tarot de Marseille, the Chris Butler version.
yeah, I went to order that and I was high one night and I ordered a regular Marseille deck by accident. I was so pissed off.
Oh, I'm sorry. So the Fool. What leap of faith have you taken in your spiritual or creative journey or creative path that completely changed your direction?
Um, Honestly, it was moving to the city where I live now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Before we moved here, I was living in the Mesa Phoenix area of Arizona with my husband and had to keep, for the most part, my witchy side to a minimum.
Sure.
Um, I didn't have the freedom to just dive in
Mm-hmm.
and do the work I'm doing now, basically. But I did have a brain surgery and it left me unable to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I was lost for several years.
Yes.
And I was depressed and I was sad. And I came across a Chris Butler video. I think it was actually during lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just loved that he had all his cards laid out and
Yes.
he was doing a comparison on everything. And I was just fascinated by his show. So I started watching him during lockdown and um it made me break out my cards again as a tool to
Mm-hmm.
heal uh
That's
and get
beautiful.
back into life.
Mm-hmm.
And it was I wrote him a fan letter basically saying, dear
Uh-huh.
Mr. Butler, your cards have got me, or your videos got me through a tough time. I appreciate you, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
um what I didn't expect was for him to write back
Mm-hmm.
and say basically, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And he gave a brief paragraph and he said, if you'd ever like to chat sometime, um, hit me up. And I was like, yes. And it was right after that. Hello, Aria. Daddy's little beast is here, everybody.
There you go.
Um, it was right after that that I just decided to, well, he suggested I start a channel. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And
Yeah.
somehow you got involved. Chris actually suggested you
Yeah.
because I was watching a video with you and Chris on it
Yeah.
together. I
Chris
think
is a very nice man.
you, Chris, and
It was Richie,
was it Richie? It was
or
Richie.
was it
Yes. No, it was Richie. Richie. It was
yeah,
Longman.
yeah, Longman Tarot. Yeah.
Um, so it was you, Richie, and Chris, and I just fell in love with the three of you. And
Yeah.
so yeah, he suggested I contact you, and I did.
There you
And
go.
you were very, very nice, Gerald. If I think if you'd have been a dick,
Stop it.
I,
Don't
I,
tell people I'm nice. I have this persona.
um, if yeah, Gerald was so helpful and
Uh,
supportive,
I'm
especially with tech stuff, because I was
yeah.
so new to YouTube.
I'm glad to be able to do that. I'm glad
And
to.
I didn't have a good computer at the time, and it kept crashing and freezing, and oh, it was awful. Um,
But
but
you've made it through. And by the way, more people have come in. And
hi,
if for
everybody.
some reason you're not, if you want to listen to the Casuals are now available as a podcast on YouTube Music. So you can listen to it anywhere without necessarily needing to watch us. We're going to move on to the next card, which is the Magician.
My favorite.
When you first started exploring spirituality, what tools, physical or otherwise, felt most magical in your hands?
Um, Besides tarot has always been my number one tool,
Mhm.
but fire and water
Okay.
were my magical tools. I was
Mhm.
never much into crystals and uh, fire and water, I would say. Yes, I use
Okay.
water for scrying almost as much as I use tarot. Um,
Mhm.
and fire because I am a fire witch and a Leo witch also. Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
use fire for scrying, fire for creation. Um, yeah,
Okay.
I revel in the elements. I don't just use the elements. So anybody, if you're working with the elements, feel it.
Sure.
Just throw yourself into the magic of it.
That makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So after the magician comes the high priestess, and the high priestess, see if I can do this. The high priestess, what's the moment when your intuition spoke so clearly, Bobby, you couldn't ignore it?
When we bought this house 5 years ago, I'll give you that instance.
Okay.
We had been driving up during lockdown to see his family,
Mhm.
his mother and father. I've been with my partner for 25 years now,
Mhm.
but we would drive up and make sure they were okay. And then we drove by this one street, and I kept looking at it every time we drove by. And I said, I want to go look down there. And he said, "There's nothing there." He said, "I don't care. I want to see, but there's nothing there. I don't care. I want to see." And we had this big argument, and we eventually drove around, and it was weird. I was driving around. We're right in the parking lot of this one gun store, and I couldn't understand why I was being drawn there.
Mhm.
Um, well, the following month, across from the gun store, that street, we bought the house.
How
Um,
exciting.
So I knew I was meant to be there and
I
I
love
wasn't going to fight it. So
good.
yeah,
Yeah, it is one of those things, if you try to fight the high priestess,
no.
I mean, you can do it for a certain amount of time. So,
You can try.
you can try. So next up we have the Empress.
The Empress.
And the Empress, um, where do you find the most where do you find the most nourishment for your spirit? In nature, creativity, relations, or somewhere else entirely? And to answer your question, Michelle Marie, yes.
My Aria is getting into so much trouble, you guys. I've never seen her crawling onto these shelves before. So she's having a blast. If you hear something
I'm very good
break,
with I'm very attractive to pussy cats.
me too. I'm right there. If you hear something crash, that's what it is. But I'm not going to worry about her right now. So, where do I find the most nourishment for my spirit? Um, that's a very good question.
Mhm.
I think I would have to go with my tribe,
Mhm.
and by that I include Joey, Selena, you, my YouTube tribe. Um,
Mhm.
when I'm feeling powerless or unable to take control of things, I will put myself in a space where I know I'm okay. I will put myself in with Joey and just
Mhm.
hang with her because I know I'm safe there. I know I can.
That's beautiful.
recharge. If I'm feeling a certain way, I'll jump on YouTube and
Hmm.
communicate with my friends there. Um, but yeah, I draw strength from the people in my life.
Yeah. And yeah, there is a definite sense of community is an important aspect, especially around the Empress. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to the Emperor. What structure, habit, or boundary has been the most supportive to your spiritual growth?
My husband. My husband is not a witch. He's not a spiritualist. He does his best to avoid everything with my world, which sounds weird,
No.
but he is the most supportive. We are exact opposites. All right.
Hmm.
He's very, very, very Christian,
Okay.
but he happened to fall in love with a witch. Um,
What can you
and
do?
it's worked for us. We keep each other's space separate. Aria, come here. Psst, psst, psst. You're causing a problem. I knew she was going to do that. I'm going to have to let her out right now. Um,
Okay. Do you want me to show a commercial?
no, she's laying next to me. After this, we can share the
Okay.
commercial and I'll let her out. Um,
Okay.
he's given me the freedom to be me. When I told him I wanted to start doing this full time and that I was going to start working for different establishments,
Hmm.
it was okay, but I don't want you doing it here at the house. And okay, but I don't want you working with
Yeah.
spirits. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. But
Yes,
when
dear.
I lost my office space
Hmm.
and the store closed, and I was distraught because I had clients lined up and everything, he said, "Why don't you just do it here?" Like it was matter of fact. And I
Oh,
was like,
that's sweet.
"You, you,
That's very
you,
fortunate.
you'd let me?" And he says, "Yeah, just
Yeah.
do it here." So I moved my practice to home base and got my license changed and everything. And um,
Excellent.
yeah, so
Excellent.
he's given me the space to be me.
I love that. So let's talk about the Hierophant.
Hmm.
Who has been a teacher, mentor, or guide who shaped your spiritual foundation?
My aunt Bert. Um,
Hmm.
my aunt was one of the ones who raised me.
Hmm.
I'm Mexican American, which means the kids get shunted around a lot to different families.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
you
Talk
know,
about being raised by a community and many
yes,
generations. It's very,
exactly.
yes.
We are raised. It's a shared thing. So my aunt
Hmm.
raised me. My grandma raised me. My aunt was highly psychic
Hmm.
and one of the strongest witches I've ever met in my life. And I've met some very strong witches.
Hmm.
Um, she started my training and opening my eyes to the spiritual world before I think I was 5 or 6,
Hmm.
when she started teaching me about the third eye. And I remember being about 8, her starting healing work with me. Um, I was
Nice.
never a very good physical healer at that age,
Hmm.
but uh, she had her own spiritual center for a little while. So it was wonderful being raised in a family that had psychic awareness and witchcraft in it.
I like
Um,
that. I
yeah,
like that.
but it was my
So
aunt.
after the Hierophant, by the way, later this month, Tom from Early Ritual and
Hmm.
Maru from Madame Maru's House of Cards are coming on my channel, and we're going to be doing a deep dive into the Hierophant. So next we have the Lovers. Have you ever had to choose between two very different spiritual paths? How did you decide?
I'm a chaos switch, basically.
Hmm.
I don't decide. I'm a liminal witch. I walk between. I'm neither good or bad. I'm not evil.
You just are.
I just are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't choose. The only path I chose to follow is the path of my Lord and Lady, and
Mm-hmm.
that's Hecate and Hermes. With
Mm-hmm.
Hermes, he doesn't have temples. The road is his temple.
Yes.
All places are his temple. With Hecate, all liminal spaces or in between
Mm-hmm.
spaces are hers.
Exactly.
So, and if you wonder why I'm keep going like this, it's because I've got Aria next to me and I'm trying to keep her quiet. I'm
All
trying to
right.
rub her down, rub her
She's
belly.
doing quite well.
Yeah, she's doing very good.
So, just so that everybody knows, Bobby is rubbing a pussy
That's right. I'm rubbing
cat.
my pussy right here.
Yes, it's a pussy cat. Sorry, 12-year-old boy. And so, by the way, more people have come in. Thank you, everybody. I've actually turned the table on Bobby. So we're doing we're doing a behind the cards TarotStache style. Boom.
Hey, Gerald, you want to play that commercial real quick?
Let's do that. Here we go. And it's not going, I could do the word moist, but I'm not going to. Here, we'll do this one. This section of the video is brought to you by the word rapscallion. Everyone say it with me. Rapscallion. Rapscallion. A person who causes trouble. The best chatters are not rapscallions, and always like, share, and subscribe to our channels. Rapscallion. Look what I just got. I got something from the Veiled
Oh, from the
Cottage Witch
Veiled
today.
Cottage Witch.
Purchase responsibly, kids.
Hey,
So,
Yadira, how you doing?
yes, that's exactly why I picked that one. Maru is so insightful. And okay, so let's. We are talking now about the Chariot.
The Chariot.
The Chariot. What's something you've achieved in your spiritual life that requires discipline, or that required discipline and determination?
Respecting my body.
Say a little bit more about that.
I work with Lord Hermes.
Mm-hmm.
He is not only he gets a bad rap being the god of thieves and liars, but he's also the god of travelers. And
And we
when
have a chariot.
yeah, so when we talk about um the chariot, we're talking about pretty much I can associate Hermes with anything, but um I had to understand that Hermes is also the god of athletes
Mm-hmm.
and sex.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, in order to respect him, I had to respect myself, which means I had to give up smoking, I had to give up drugs, I had to give up this, I had to give up that. And it wasn't because he asked me to, it was because I respected myself more and had to take an active hand in my life. Um, yes, Maru, athletic sex. Hermes screwed everything in mythology, believe me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, body is your temple.
Yeah,
Yep.
I had to
Yep.
respect it a little more. So,
That's good. That's very good. That's very good. Okay, so now,
as I,
because
s-
as you
as I,
what?
as I inhale,
Oh, geez. And so here's where we get a little interesting, because this is strength, or card number 8. This is where some people are going to go, but Gerald, because traditionally it would be this, because 8 in the Marseille is justice, and because I'm not a jerk, we're going to mix it up. So Strength. When has gentleness been your greatest strength in your practice or readings?
When I allow somebody to heal themselves. I'm not healing anybody through my readings. My readings are designed to bring healing,
Mhm.
but I'm not the one doing the healing. I'm pointing out where the healing needs to happen.
Mhm. Yes.
From that point, I suggest professional help,
Mhm.
um, and help people find the help they need.
Yes.
Um, I'm basically a switchboard. Okay, I don't do the healing. I help people find the healing. But in order to get them to that place, you can't break down their walls.
Yeah.
You have
Well,
to
and yeah.
approach slowly and carefully.
And I think for me, Bobby, one of the things that's really important about what you're saying is the ability to hold space. So when the cards are reflecting to someone a truth that may be difficult, uh, you can hold space so that they can understand it. They can lean into it.
Yeah.
So,
Sometimes you just have to be somebody's defender to keep the rest of the world at bay
oh
so
yes.
that they can heal. And
Hmm.
I have no problem. I consider myself a black dog. I will guard somebody while they heal.
There
And I
you
will
go.
keep the rest of the world away from them.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice. So then we move into the hermit. And
He
the
was my
hermit,
card for the longest time. Yeah.
what do you discover about yourself when you step away from the noise and work in solitude?
When I work in solitude, all masks are thrown off. And that's not to say I create masks to try to fool people. That's
Hmm.
saying I have the mask of civility, the mask of society.
Uh-huh.
Um, but when I work magic and I'm in my spiritual zone, all that's gone. I am a fire. I am a windstorm. I
Hmm.
cannot be contained. There is no physical body holding me back. I
Sure.
become one with the elements. So when I'm in my spiritual zone and step away from the world, I lose my physical body
Hmm.
and just become elemental.
Very nice.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that answered the question or not,
It
but
it was very, very appropriate. I do wanna say, more people have come in, thank you. We have a compliment from you, Bobby, or for you, Bobby. So, gird your loins, I'm going to read this out loud. Bobby's a tarot therapist,
you
and
know,
from My Name is Tish, that was my reading 100%. There you go.
so
Just take it in, take it in, take a
I
sip.
I'll sip on that. Um, hold on. Okay, that's one thing I should bring up.
I need to give you a
I
be
have
careful.
drinking problem. And what
Yeah,
I
you have a
mean,
difficult time swallowing, right?
yes, but I do because of the brain surgery I had. Sometimes my muscles don't work right, and
Yeah.
when I swallow, it doesn't always swallow right.
Okay.
That's why I use a cane.
There you go.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So next up, we have the Wheel of Fortune.
Yes.
And here we go. What unexpected twist of fate brought you to where you are today?
Uh, the death of a friend.
Okay. I'm sorry about that.
Um, during the 90s, it was a really rough time in the gay community.
Mhm.
It was the second wave of HIV deaths were happening.
Mhm.
And I lost almost all my friends in that
Mm.
wave.
Wow.
Um, but it was this guy, Russell. We used to call him Russellette. And I realized I'm fucking next. So um I looked at myself in the mirror at the club and at the bar actually, and I was thinking I'm cute now, but I'm losing it. I can already see,
Mhm.
I was going downhill and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to continue this life. So get your shit together. And I went home, or I actually called my cousin Angel and went to her house and said, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I know if I stay on this path, I'm gonna end up like everybody else.
Mhm.
And
Well, and I'm gonna relate this to something that you said. This is I don't know if you were working with Hermes back then, but the fact that you went, "Huh, I need to do something." That if
it
that
was right. That was the time when Hermes and Hecate started grabbing me by the ears, basically.
yes, but you better listen, bitch.
Yes, I knew the names and I spoke them hollowly. Let's put it that way.
Mhm.
I made a lot of claims. So basically, the gods said, okay, fine, live up to it,
Yeah.
and put me through the ringer.
Mhm.
But when it was time, they pulled me out of it
That's
and
powerful.
put people in my path to guide me. Hermes has been there from the beginning.
Mhm.
Um,
Love that.
yeah.
I love that. All right. Now we move to justice. Card number 11 in the RWS and card number 8 in the Marseille. How do you balance intuition with fairness or honesty when reading for others?
By balancing the good and the bad. There's one specific word I use. Okay, I'll give you for instance. Gerald, I'm saying this that you're headed for a period of growth. It looks like your job is going this and this and this. And then they'll say that one word. However,
Mhm.
and I will give you the opposite side also. I'm not just going to give somebody one side of things.
Mhm.
I will say you are blessed, but I will also point out beware. um, I want people to go into situations knowing the yay and the nay. You can't make um, smart decisions unless you have the positive and the negative, and that is my goal, to present both.
Yes. It is an important aspect to make sure people have a balanced view of what's going on. It makes for informed choices, I think. So,
It
okay.
does.
So now we move on to the hanged one.
The hanged one.
Has there been a time you had to pause or see things from a completely different perspective to move forward?
Always. Here's the trick. I was raised to always see other people's viewpoint. I was raised children should be seen and not heard.
Mm.
We were raised as little butlers, okay? We were that generation where the kids,
Mhm.
when they were with the adults, were perfect, and when you were outside, you were wild people traveling caves
Sure,
and
of course.
um but we were raised to always see things from other people's perspective.
Mhm.
And because I came from an abusive household with my dad, you learned to see things from people's perspectives to avoid danger. And
Yes.
then that just evolved over time. Um,
Okay.
so the different perspective I had to learn was my own. I had to realize I had a perspective too, that I
Mhm.
had a viewpoint, and my words mattered. Ramon said something to me recently that just broke my heart. He we recently had Ramon had to pull back from our show on Thursday nights because
Mhm.
he's got a lot going on with his new promotion.
Mhm.
But um, I sent him a "I'm gonna miss you, bro" type letter, and he sent back, and one of the lines was, "I see you," and that just
Mhm.
hit me in the heart and in the
Yes.
throat because I was so used to seeing other people. It's weird to be seen, and I'm still trying to get used to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're currently being seen in the chat, by the way.
Yeah, but
So I'm letting you know that. Just
we're
letting you know.
live?
In this live? Yeah.
We're on air right now?
Oh, yeah, Bobby, sorry, I forgot to tell you. We're recording this for all posterity. Not posterior, but posterity.
Posterior? Oh,
There you go. So, um, okay, let's talk about death. Card number 13.
mhm.
What's a spiritual practice, belief, or identity you've outgrown, and what came alive in its place?
What practice, belief, or identity you've outgrown?
Hmm.
Uh, I've never outgrown anything. I've just added to. Everything's always expanded. I think, um, yeah, I haven't outgrown, but I will say ancestor work has bloomed over the past few years.
Hmm.
I guess about the past 4 years. I've really, really been focused on
Yeah.
ancestors because I didn't. Here's the thing, I've always chatted in my head with
Sure.
people who have passed, asking them, playing a game in my head if they were still with me and I was
Hmm.
talking to them. What could I say and what would they say back? Almost like a psychotic experience. But um, I realized the answers I was hearing was actually them speaking.
Hmm.
And that happened one day when I actually heard my Diamarchi um, laugh. Like
Hmm.
I heard her, and I realized, holy shit, they're actually with me. Um, and I was so happy,
Yeah.
it was awesome. So yeah, there's that.
I
Ancestor work
think
came alive.
I think that that ancestor work, it's often really powerful. There's a lot of people who are, you know, yeah, not often that someone else sees you on that deep level. Yes. And Selena said, "You saw me, Bobby, when you read for me the first time." And that's what instantly made me love you and trust you. You saw me. So powerful. So very powerful.
I love Selena.
So,
Selena's gotten me through some tough times, you guys.
of course,
Um,
of course. And
I can I just say this real quick? I have an illness. I don't like to make a big deal of it, but it is there, and um, I do have my bad days,
mhm,
and I don't really talk about those on air, but Selena hears about it when
mhm,
there's
yeah,
days I can't get out of bed or I'm sick or
mhm.
so she's got me through a lot. Her,
That's
Joey,
good.
Chris. Yeah, I appreciate
Well,
it.
and it goes back to that thing that you said at the beginning. It's the community that's important. And
Yeah.
that's very beautiful. Now you had mentioned ancestors. I mean, are you familiar with this tarot deck? Have you ever heard of this? The
I've
Santa
heard of it.
Muerte by Fabio Listrani. I mean, are you familiar with it?
It's my favorite ancestor deck. Yes. It is currently packed up because I had a client yesterday. I took my kit, but I do keep my mini deck with me. And I love my mini deck because I do a special 22 card spread.
Ah,
And this deck is perfect for that. And I tried to get a video out last week on Sunday about the 22 card spread, but I got sick.
yeah.
So I had to delay it.
Okay.
Um,
Well, it's an opportunity for everybody who's watching here who may not be subscribed to you to go over and click the subscribe button, ring the bell so that they can be notified of when that 22 card spread comes out.
ring my bell.
There you go.
Ring a
Um,
ling a ling.
so so then we move to temperance. Temperance. Where in your life have you blended seamlessly opposite ideas into something harmonious?
I am a liminal witch. This was the toughest thing for me to grasp. For the
Mhm,
longest time, I felt I had to choose between being a white witch, and this is a youngster thinking. Okay, this is 30
mhm,
years ago, between being a white witch or a dark witch, because I had both tendencies, and I
yeah,
couldn't
mhm,
figure. And it wasn't until I grew up that I realized I'm a witch. All right,
mhm,
I walk the space in between,
yeah.
so that is both positive and negative, light
So
and
that
dark.
was 30 years ago. My goodness, I must have been 5.
That's right. You were just a child.
I was just 5. So, um, and so, yeah, I think, anyhow,
Yeah,
I'm chuckling.
understanding that in order to be powerful, you have to accept the different parts of your life.
Mhm,
You have to blend the different aspects of yourself.
yeah.
Um, Thank you, Maru, for putting my info
Mhm.
up. I just hit over 600 on my channel. I'm so happy.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy.
Congratulations. And I also agree. We need light and dark, or we need both dark and light. I am a person who I just call it work.
Work,
It
exactly.
it is what it is. It's the spin that you put on it that's really, really.
Anybody that tries to focus solely on light and not address the dark is, it's like building a house of cards with no structure or foundation. It's just always going to fall. You need that balance in order to
And I
build
would
something.
also say the opposite of true. Anyone who tries to work just with dark without a
Yes.
balance of light is going to,
You're going to get all
have
fuckered
some
up,
issues.
basically.
Yes, yes. We have Pamela who said, "I really enjoyed WandaVision and Agatha all along very much." And
I love those shows.
yes, and my name is Tish said, "You can't have one without the other."
Nope.
It's very
You just
true.
can't.
I mean, you can try,
You
and it
can
works for a short period of
try.
time. But again, for entertainment purposes only, do not make decisions based upon what we say. Moist. So next we have the devil. What old
My.
story, fear, or habit have you learned to release in your spiritual growth?
um, See, I'm
And by the way, I just have to say, Bobby's like going, "Oh, I'm up for anything, Gerald." He didn't know I was doing this to him.
no, I didn't. I would have
So I
had
think he's doing really well. So, thumbs up in the chat. It's all good. Leave the comments to show Bobby that he's handled this unexpected twist
I
of
think
behind the cards, the TarotStache version.
the biggest thing. Fear or habit is what's striking out to me in this sentence is learning how to do shadow work. Um, that was a fear for me.
Mm, okay.
Um, Looking in the
Because
places I didn't want to look,
okay.
seeing the things about myself I didn't want to see, looking at the ugliness within myself.
Mhm.
Um, Here's the thing, I don't do it because I want to. I didn't start shadow work because I wanted to be a better person. No, I started shadow work in the past because I didn't like the concept of somebody saying, well, how can you tell me to do that when you haven't done that?
Ooh.
I can't stand that. So I need to be able to do this in order to say, I've done it, you can do it too. And
Yes.
because I don't want somebody throwing it back in my face on how
Mhm.
I'm not facing my own shadow.
That's
Bitch,
honest, yeah.
I bought my shadow a drink. We hang out. We bros.
And
Uh
yeah. Well, and I think it's one of those things that in the last 5, 6 years, really, I've been, much more interactive with this because there are some amazing people who do work, in shadow. Hershey is great, and I think this is one of those things we must honor, and, oh, I do like what Pamela said, both sides of, light and dark. I wish, AI was aware of how important each is to a well-rounded life, so much earlier in my life. Oh yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I hear
Also, I
you.
married a Capricorn, and Capricorn is associated with the devil card. So I married the devil.
Is he aware of this?
Yes, I've told him. They came out in
Okay.
an argument one time. He was he was going on about something, and I was just sitting there looking at him, and he paused, and I said, "You know, in tarot, the devil card is related to Capricorn, right?" And I walked away.
I think
And I
that's
left it with
hilarious.
that. Yeah.
Well, in the major arcana, after the devil, we have the tower. What's a
Yes.
shake-up moment that tore down what you thought you knew and rebuilt you stronger?
Um, I used to date a man named Dennis, and for 6 months we worked on building a business together. We were leather
Mhm.
crafters making different items. And when it came time to start selling it, he backed out. And I was
Mm,
furious. And I said, why? Why would you spend all this time? Well, I just wanted to spend time with you and get close to you. And I was so pissed. And it taught me right there to that I had focused so much on another person.
I see.
I That was the last time I gave somebody total
Mhm.
control of my life like that. That was it. Psst, no
And so
more.
how did that rebuild you stronger?
It made me realize I needed to take control of my life. This is right about that same time when I made the decision to get off of drugs, get off of the
Mhm.
street, become a real person. Um, I was one of those people who let the visions drive me crazy, let the feelings take me
I
down the
see.
path of madness. I didn't understand the depth of what I was seeing and feeling. Yes, I came from a
Mhm.
family of witches and psychics, but they weren't exactly like me. Um, I was seeing things different than they were, and I thought there was something wrong with me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, it wasn't. I just had a special path before me that I didn't understand at
Mhm.
that point.
Yes.
So, but
So
yeah,
then that yeah, that really
it
helped build you stronger.
It taught me how to build my own foundations so that if everything crumbles around me, I'm standing strong.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
That whole area of my life right there was very pivotal. It very
Mhm.
was 1993. Yeah.
I am very curious to hear about where that relates to with your Vedic astrology. Michelle Marie Astrological Tarot is in the chat, and she's quite skilled at that and how
It's
you
funny you
can
ask
see
about
what's
Vedic
going on.
astrology. Um,
So,
I prayed at one point to Lord Ganesh. A friend of mine had gotten a relief painting type thing on their wall,
mhm,
and um, I prayed to Ganesh, and there was a big wind out of nowhere, and I knew it was a magical wind. I knew it, and the reason I bring up Ganesh is because Ganesh deals with astrology. Um,
mhm.
and that was my first run-in with Ganesh, and he
I
removed
love that.
obstacles for me, and my life started going in the direction. I keep
Mhm.
this statue right behind me because I will acknowledge constantly that he did play a part in
Well,
my
that's good.
life.
That's good.
Yes.
And Raven Tarot Meditation said 1993 was a dramatic year for him as well. So, okay. So after the tower, we have the star.
Mm.
And when you feel discouraged, what guides you back to hope?
Tarot. Um, I will just break out a deck of cards and start looking at them, start playing with them, start seeing them, start
Mhm,
understanding them, what each card represents: the rise, the fall, the pain, the struggle, the rebuilding.
mhm.
And it helps me remember that life has ups and downs. What you were saying about Agatha all along, the witch's road is a winding road. I knew about the winding road a long time before Agatha.
Sure.
Witches know about the witch's path. It's a real
Mhm.
thing. Sometimes the path is up, sometimes the path is down. It's a winding road. um we'll have our ups, we'll have our downs,
Yes,
but it continues. So my tarot guides me
I
and it
like that.
reminds me.
I
Yeah.
like that.
It reminds me I have a destiny to help other people. So get my shit together.
Get your shit together, Bobby.
I tell myself get my shit together as much as I tell everyone around
Do you
me.
need me to
Yeah.
have that as my text tone to you? You know, a voice
Yeah.
memo that says, "Get your
Right.
shit together, Bobby."
Yeah.
Okay, so from the star, we go into the moon. And the moon, when's a time you had to navigate uncertainty or trust yourself through confusing signals?
Um from about 1987 to 2000. um
25,
right.
which is the year that we're filming this. For those of you who are 40, 50 years in the future watching this.
When I think over the past 5 years, especially when I moved
Mhm.
here to this town, I felt the call to move here. That's why we bought this house
Yes.
here. And the thing, you can ask Joey, people around us we talk to were like from out of the area. We're all being called here. We're like, I have no fucking
Yeah.
clue why I moved to the armpit of hell. Um, and we're out by Tombstone. Um, to let you guys know, where actual tumbleweeds are going down the street, you guys. Um, I just felt the call to be here. Now, the moon is associated with the sign of Pisces. Pisces leads by intuition. And so I just have trusted my intuition over the past
Mhm.
5 years that I'm supposed to
Mhm.
be doing what I'm doing. I put my faith in the gods completely and
Sure.
utterly when I moved here, saying, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. I'm trying to rebuild. Let's do this together. What do you want of me? And they have brought people into my life who some need my help and guidance and in assistance in finding their way. Others are there to help me and provide assistance and help me find my way.
I love that.
So, um, putting my faith in the gods over the past 5 years and trusting that, and it's come to light recently. Everything I've been wanting to do, I've done. I knew I would have the
Oh.
website, but there was creative differences with that, so the website didn't go anywhere. Um, but they're opening a spiritual center, and apparently I'm going to play a big part in that. So that's a good thing.
Ooh.
So the people that are opening that were brought into my life and asked me to be a part of that. So I'm where
Yes.
I need to be. I'm doing what I need to do. And I'm not going to sit here and say, well, what am I supposed to do? What do I? I'm doing it. I trust.
Well, and that brings us to card number 19, the sun.
The
What
creepy
lights
baby card.
with a mustache, no less.
I didn't notice that.
All of these cards have mustaches on them. Every single card
That's
has
awesome.
mustaches on this. What lights you up the most about the work you do now?
The aha moments I see on people's faces when I help them make the connections to the different things in their lives. Um, when I do a reading and point something out to somebody, even if I don't know what I'm saying to them,
Hmm.
the words I'm relating to each card in each position mean this. And as I'm saying it, I could see their face have that
Yes.
realization. That's what I live for. Even if I don't understand what's happening, I understand something happened. Okay.
Yes.
Something I said resonated with them in the right way.
Hmm.
And that's when I can feel it on the back here that um
I like that.
the
Well, and
attaboy.
yeah, and that's the moment I actually think I have captured a picture of you when I've done that for reading for you right there. That is the way Bobby's eyes look when he has that interesting insight.
Okay,
Um,
Swampy's here. Let me tell you something about Swampy. I read for Swampy the
Wait a
other night.
minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. You don't have permission from Swampy to tell this story. I'm not going to let you do that. I'm not going to let you do that because I'm going to move swiftly on so that we can avoid any issues with Swampy. So I'm just saying because you're welcome, Swampy.
I
Next
read
week,
for I'll just say I read for Swampy and something it hit me and you could see when it hit me what I was talking about. I was like, "Oh,
yep.
that
Okay.
moment of aha." Yes. So,
And Bobby, I'm teasing you, but I understand exactly what you mean. I'm hoping to have some readings coming up this week, so I'm looking forward to it too. So next we have Judgment. This is card 20. What's a calling you couldn't ignore, even if it meant changing course?
a calling I couldn't ignore. Um I follow all the callings like a good dog. Um
Hecate is just sort of laughing. She's chuckling at that one.
yeah, when my lord and lady call, I don't even hesitate. The bat signals up, I move.
Yep.
Um, no, there's no hesitation. If they speak, I move. It's that easy.
Okay. So there's not a specific calling other than if the Lord and Lady want you to do something, you're going to do it.
I am. It took a long time for me to accept my role as Oracle. I was a tarot
Mhm,
card reader, I was a psychic. That was hard enough for me to accept for a long time. But
mhm,
over the past 5 years, I've accepted my role as Oracle. And what that means is, as I speak under the guidance of Lord Hermes, um, the Lord of Communication, the Traveler, eh, I open myself up to get messages from other deities.
sure. Oh, of course.
So, um, deities I'm not always familiar with. Recently, I had
Mhm,
Thor get a message to somebody through me. That was
mhm.
trippy. Um,
It's a pretty big hammer.
I actually felt the thunder and I knew instantly what it was. So I called up the only practitioner I knew who worked with Thor, and she was in crisis that day. So
Ah,
yeah, I will hear and move. I didn't hesitate. I knew what Thor meant. I knew who it meant, and I picked up the
mhm,
phone. Um, so being an oracle is weird. Getting messages from gods I'm not familiar with, and trusting that Hermes will help me translate the message properly. That's weird. It's so my path right now has to deal with opening up my knowledge to other deities so I
mhm.
understand the messages I'm delivering. And that's a lot of learning.
That is a lot of learning. That's powerful learning too. And it is one of those things that when one has the honor and the responsibility of being an oracle, you never know what's coming.
That's the thing right there, Gerald. You nailed it. It's an honor and a responsibility. It's not just a thing. Sometimes it's a weight. Um, but it's always a responsibility and an honor.
And I would also say, unless one is an oracle, you don't understand what that's like. It's because yeah, it's just very different.
Do you know when I realized I was an oracle? Um, I never put the word into my head or into it. It
When
was
was it?
just not a thing. I was working at a store one time, and they brought in another woman, and I could tell just by looking at her and her energy that she was so chaotic and scattered.
Hmm,
And that was one thing. And it wasn't until I understood that she worked with Kali that I recognized the thing.
I
The
see.
thing is that she threw the word oracle around an awful lot. And she wasn't an oracle for Kali. She was a follower of Kali, and she thought that
Yes.
made her an oracle. And I was, as soon as she said oracle, I got offended, and I didn't understand why. And that
Mhm.
started the eye-opening thing. Somebody
Yeah.
pointed out, well, that's because you're an oracle and you do that. And I said,
What?
huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a
exactly, exactly.
realization moment. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand that, and, Timmy from Raven Terra Meditation said, "Humility is knowing who you are and what you are." Yes. And
Yeah, and I
Julianne
realized I
said,
ain't shit. Let me put that out there. I ain't shit. So I've had people use in sentences, oh, well, Bobby's a tarot master with 40. I'm like, shut the fuck up. No, I'm just Bobby. All right.
yeah,
You don't
yeah,
get to lift me like that. No, no, no. We're on this road together, bitches. No.
yes. Okay, so we have, believe it or not, Bobby, we've made it to the last card in this behind the cards tarot stash edition, and it's
A
the world.
surprise.
It's look back at your journey so far, or looking back at your journey so far. What feels like a milestone moment of completion or fulfillment?
Um, that's a tough one. The world, looking back at your journey so far, what feels like a milestone moment of completion or fulfillment? I'm going to tell you, every time I get a letter from one of my clients or a message or somebody I've read for online who says, everything you said came true. Everything you said
Mhm.
happened. Thank you for the warning. Thank you for the heads up. Thank you for the guy. Anything like that. Um, I'm happy, but I instantly turn it around and say, "Thank you, my lord. Thank you, my lady,
Oh, yeah.
um, for letting me be there." And that
Mhm.
is my good dog moment. That is
Yes.
my
Yes.
good dog moment.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely. Yes. Um, yes, Selena. Give him that look, Gerald. I'm giving him that same look. Mhm.
Every
Alright.
time I can help somebody else, it makes me happy.
I love that. I also share that same excitement. There's a great deal of power in that, and having that sense of being able to provide something that someone needed that they didn't realize that that's what they needed.
Here's the
So,
thing, I had to leave a store because what they wanted was my husband's up. I can hear the dogs barking. Means UPS is probably outside. Um, I have 5 dogs, you guys, in case you didn't know.
I didn't know
Um,
that,
yeah,
but Bobby has
I
5 dogs.
I have 5 dogs and 2 cats. Um, I lost what I was about to say when the dogs started barking. I did.
The well, and I'm giggling because of Selena is like going, "Thank you, Gerald. You're welcome. You're welcome." So, but, we're not
Yeah, you
picking
know.
on you. I mean, so that's like you only ever talk about your, yeah, you only ever talk about your
Oh,
pussies.
pussies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I,
Yeah, it's just
I,
pussycats. Yeah.
I've got Romeo, Pearl, Minnie, Teensy, and Madeline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bobby, what is bringing you joy these days?
Um, these days it's reveling in power. I know that I'm going to be called to do some powerful stuff coming up. Um, and right now I'm in a holding pattern.
Mhm.
Nothing is being asked of me by the gods. Nothing is being asked of me, but anything. I'm just enjoying being Bobby. I'm
There you go.
enjoying my life right now. The Saturdays at Bisbee Market here in Bisbee, Arizona, um, where I just get to meet people and have fun. What did she
Mhm.
say?
She said, "I'm bringing him joy, Gerald. How
Yeah,
dare
she
you ask me
does.
that?"
Um, yeah, uh, just life. Learning that I lived in guilt for so long for the life I led.
Mm,
Learning that I'm not meant to live that way. That's not
yeah,
life.
yes.
Yeah. I did a lot of bad things, yes. Well, do better.
Well, and I think that's a really an important thing. I mean, it's very difficult to go back and change the past. We can only
Yeah.
make informed choices that are here in the now that will help us in the future.
Here's the thing, going back in past, you said we can't do that. I've talked about this a lot on my shows. Is one of my favorite meditations is in those darkest times when I felt alone, I'll send myself back now in my meditations to give
Mhm.
myself comfort, to be my
Oh, of
own
course.
guardian angel, to wrap myself in my own love and say, "You're gonna be okay. Trust me. And whisper in my own ear that the future is bringing this. So I am one of my own spirit guides, so to speak. And at the same point, I call ahead to the future. What the fuck am I doing? What steps do I take? So, and it works. It really does. It helps.
Yes. Well, and I think it is one of those things that, yes, absolutely, you can use that energy. And we're almost finished, which means that Ms. Tarot D
You
shows
sexy
up.
bitch.
And thank you for being here. And all of the best chatters are here. So it's great to have everybody here. Thanks for spending some time with me, Bobby.
Thanks for having me, Gerald.
Did you how do you feel this went? You doing okay?
Yeah, I wasn't sure you wanted me on. You asked Joey before me. No, I'm
Oh,
just kidding.
please.
I'm
Yes.
kidding.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
This was exciting. It was nice having the tables turned on me for a change.
There you go. And please add this to your behind the cards playlist, because you
I
still have some
shall.
in there that you haven't added to your playlist.
Really?
I have this, yes,
I'll have to
like
go in and reorganize then.
like my second one.
I didn't add that.
It's okay, Bobby.
To tell you the
There are
truth, over
there
the
are
past year, I've only learned how to organize and put hashtags and stuff like that. This is all,
and you know what? This is all about the process and being in the
yeah.
moment. And thank you for letting me turn the tables on you. Let's, flipping the cards. And I had a lot of fun with this. And thank you so very much for sharing yourself. Like and subscribe to both of our channels. Links are in the description. Ways to show your support are there also. You can contact Bobby or me for private
Yes.
readings. And you do
Mhm.
that through the Veiled Cottage
You
Witch
can
website.
contact me through my email, wildraventarotaz@gmail.com,
Hmm.
or
I love it.
through the Veiled Cottage Witch, and you can get. I focus on ancestor readings, mostly, but general readings definitely.
Yes. Ancestor readings. I'm a little psychic. You might see this deck. You might.
Yes,
I'm just saying it.
it's a
And by the
definite
way, I'm being a
possibility.
jerk to Bobby. I was watching him and
Yes.
I'm looking, Bobby, what would happen if you couldn't use that deck? Or the Healing Light Tarot?
Yeah.
Or the True Black Tarot? What would
Yeah.
happen, Bobby?
It was and I did that yesterday with Maruta. We read together, and I made it a point not to use any of those decks, and it was a challenge. It was.
That's cool. All right, everyone. We appreciate you being here. And what's one of the great things is you have a lot of options of what to do with your energy. I really appreciate you sharing your time with us. We will see you the next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.